Welcome in, take a seat, grab a snack, stay a while. Survivor Maine, on the grind, dodging hooks with a smile. Looping killers, breaking ankles, gotta keep them on their toes. But if it's Ghostface in the lobby, man, I'm about to throw. We stay positive, we stay strong, even when the matches go all wrong. Wholesome vibes, never fake, but if you look, that's a mistake. We sweat for the hatch, we fight till the end. Side by side with my Twitch chat friends. No salt, just love, keep the toxic away. GG's in the chat, that's how we play. Flashlight saves, juking hard, we ain't going down fast. If you camping out my hook, better hope I don't last. Throwing pallets, dropping perks, dead hard when I gotta. But if Ghostface peeks around, yo, I'm screaming for my mama. We stay positive, we stay strong, even when the matches go all wrong. Wholesome vibes, never fake, but if you slug, that's a mistake. We sweat for the hatch, we fight till the end. Side by side with my Twitch chat friends. No salt, just love, keep the toxic away. GG's in the chat, that's how we play.
Hatch luck, one more gen, don't give up. Flashy saves, no, we don't stop. Ghostface, nah, get blocked.
Let's sweat for the hatch, we loop all night. Bring your best, we'll put up a fight. Safe space, good vibes, come and see. This is the place where you wanna be.
Alright, chat, GG's, that was a rough one.
Ghostface again?
Nah, I'm done. Someone queue up the next match before I lose my mind.
Welcome in, take a seat, grab a snack, stay a while. Survivor Maine, on the grind, dodging hooks with a smile. Looping killers, breaking ankles, gotta keep them on their toes. But if it's Ghostface in the lobby, man, I'm about to throw. We stay positive, we stay strong, even when the matches go all wrong. Wholesome vibes, never fake, but if you look, that's a mistake. We sweat for the hatch, we fight till the end. Side by side with my Twitch chat friends. No salt, just love, keep the toxic away. GG's in the chat, that's how we play. Flashlight saves, juking hard, we ain't going down fast. If you camping out my hook, better hope I don't last. Throwing pallets, dropping perks, dead hard when I gotta. But if Ghostface peeks around, yo, I'm screaming for my mama. We stay positive, we stay strong, even when the matches go all wrong. Wholesome vibes, never fake, but if you slug, that's a mistake. We sweat for the hatch, we fight till the end. Side by side with my Twitch chat friends. No salt, just love, keep the toxic away. GG's in the chat, that's how we play.
Hatch luck, one more gen, don't give up. Flashy saves, no, we don't stop. Ghostface, nah, get blocked.
Let's sweat for the hatch, we loop all night. Bring your best, we'll put up a fight. Safe space, good vibes, come and see. This is the place where you wanna be.
Alright, chat, GG's, that was a rough one.
Ghostface again?
Nah, I'm done. Someone queue up the next match before I lose my mind.
Welcome in, take a seat, grab a snack, stay a while. Survivor Maine, on the grind, dodging hooks with a smile. Looping killers, breaking ankles, gotta keep them on their toes. But if it's Ghostface in the lobby, man, I'm about to throw. We stay positive, we stay strong, even when the matches go all wrong. Wholesome vibes, never fake, but if you look, that's a mistake. We sweat for the hatch, we fight till the end. Side by side with my Twitch chat friends. No salt, just love.
that was a rough one.
Ghostface again?
Nah, I'm done. Someone queue up the next match before I lose my mind.
Hello gamers, happy Friday, good morning, welcome in, good to see you, I'm excited. We're gaming with the Swishy, lots of things going on, let's see. I need to move myself before I drag him in. This is our first time streaming together. Hello? Hello, I'm talking. Good morning. How are you? I need to. Oh, nah. It's too early. I literally texted you. I just got out of bed. It's too early for this. Where is you're fine, you're fine. Where is? Okay, I need to mute your stream because I'm hearing you double, and I'm putting you on the Discord here so the guys can hear you.
So how do we start the collab? I've never actually done this before.
So I think in your Twitch notifications, like the little bell on your Twitch, you should have an invite from me saying Micah wants to stream or MVP wants to stream together.
Let me see if I can refresh it.
Hey, good morning everyone. Let me see who's here. Mina, congratulations on getting first. Let's go, you got it. Avian, congratulations on getting second. Enjoy your daily doggo treats. Okay, maybe I'll send it again. Let's see. Invite guests.
I don't know if I need to activate it or something.
I think you should. I'm sending action already taken. The host or another not just okay. I can't re-invite you. Okay, then I'm not sure.
Rajani_Isa followed your channel.
Then I'm not sure entirely. If you go, maybe you can see if you can invite me. I'll close this one. If
oh no, I have a join. Oh, it disappeared.
Yeah, I cancelled mine. Okay, we go again.
Okay,
Hold on.
I knocked.
Knocking is good. Knocking is good. Yes, I see it. Accept. Oh yeah, I need to go in a different browser because it doesn't work in Opera. It works in Chrome. We don't have to do shared chats. You do, I think, need to mute all the things at the bottom. Otherwise, there's double audio. So like it says turn camera off, turn mic off, unmute audio. I just turned all of those off because we have Discord.
Wait, where do you see that?
So if you go in the pop-up from the guest star where you just invited me, it should be a separate browser tab. Do you see it?
I might have exited it.
I see you still. I think we
I can't
usually
see
keep it
it.
open. Oh. Well, I still see you. Otherwise, don't touch anything. We should be good. If you're
Okay,
still
okay.
there, just leave it. We'll just leave it. You wanna go UK, right? If you want to invite me in a 2v8 killer lobby.
Yeah.
Avian, thank you so much
stay
for
away from
the
the
redeem.
sticky
23
frankfurters.
treats. Let's go. You're off work today, still in bed. Gotta check emails and free.
Let's
That's
see.
so good, Mina. I'm so happy for you.
Killer.
Swish is here. He's toxic. We're getting everything ready. Slay, welcome in. Good to see you. Oh, you know Avian. You guys know everyone.
There you are.
Slay, I was watching a video this morning. I was very disappointed with my loops yesterday.
But do you think we need to restart the knocking again so I have the window open, or?
Yes, let's try that.
Okay.
So I watched
Sorry,
the
I'm such a
video.
noob.
No, I just this morning I realized. No, this morning I just realized I forgot to tell you completely about this. I think.
It's fine. It's fine.
I was
but
very
you need to
unsatisfied
cancel
with
them
my
because it just says for me that you're unavailable.
with my looping yesterday. So I watched the video
Okay,
this
there.
morning.
I'll knock.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Knocking.
About the loops on Ormond, and I
Now I
have
have a thing open.
I have 1v1s planned with a friend. I had already planned that today, and I
You
said we're
use
going
that new
Ormond
tab.
Lake Mine.
Is that Is that it, or?
Yeah, no. So in the widget itself, I think you can see at the bottom there's like white kind of like circular icons that say turn camera on, turn mic on, and then I just always click mute audio because we don't have to be using this widget for the audio. It's like the circular. It says
Yeah, yeah,
share
I
your
see it.
screen. Yeah, so just the camera, mic, and audio one should all just be white, so we don't use any audio. Otherwise, I think you get duplicate and it drives you
But
crazy.
you share your screen.
No. Nothing on. I don't do anything else with this.
Okay, so you have everything off.
Yes.
Okay. And you did not want to share the chat?
We didn't discuss, but we can if you want to.
I'm
Do you
good
know-
with whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to try it, you have to click it because I don't think I can. It's
Okay.
above your icon, and then you will see in your chat if you want to keep track of what your viewers are saying. At the left of what someone's typing should be your icon. So Slay just typed something in mine, and you should see it's my logo there.
Oh, cool.
And then if Kay comes over at yours, or if Dahlia types something in yours, that's Hex also in mine, you can see. So of course you're allowed to react to everything because you can see everything, but just for your understanding, when it's typed in your chat, it has your icon.
I think I might have to use the Twitch dock then. Because I have a multi-chat dock.
Okay, I don't know about that.
One second.
Hi Hex, welcome in.
Should be too much
Sunny, good
of a
morning,
hassle.
my
I'll just
love.
take
Good
off
morning.
Twitch
We're at
on,
9:30 a.m. here, Sunny. It's night for you. Knock knock. Here we go. Live with Swish. There we go. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I want to try and see if we can
Bear
get
with
some
me,
better
guys.
chases
I'm
in.
a millennial. I don't.
Oh,
do
12:30.
technology.
Are you about to do some gaming? Are you about to go to bed, Sunny?
Fuck,
I don't
where did my
usually stream
chat
this
go?
early, but my stream schedule's a little bit changed because I started
There it
working
is.
again since I came back from traveling.
Yeah, perfect.
And Swish asked me for this collab, and he streams in the morning, so I decided to change my work day. So I'm kind of working later the
Yes,
afternoon.
yes. Being told to ready up.
And I can fit in this stream
Great
here, you
spots.
know. Oh, you're in bed reading? Oh, nice. I hope you're nice and chill and comfy. Swish ready up. The queue's long. Yes, Slay, tell him. This is taking too long. We want to see some games. You have to get us in the Survivor game when you're ready.
I just need to get the overlay on Discord so I can see when I'm muted.
Oh, there's an overlay? You're gonna have to teach me about that because I have both of them open, otherwise I can't see.
Oh, okay.
Unless you can see, I don't know, I have a stream deck, but it's not always working.
Oh, I have a keybind where
Yeah.
I mute myself.
Yeah, me
on
too.
Discord.
Me too, but it shows on my stream deck the mute icon for Discord. Anyway, you do you. Daddy, good morning. Welcome
Okay,
in. Thank you for the
fine.
doggo treats. I appreciate your support for the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so comfy with electric blanketing chilling. I have an electric blanket. It's the best thing my husband bought me ever.
Kimberly, where are you?
Apart from my wedding
There.
ring. Electric blanket for the win, 100%. It's gonna be fun. It is gonna be fun, but killer games are hard when I don't get carried because I struggle so much on killer still. Thank you for stopping by, Slay. Have a good day. What am I visiting? I don't think we have anything on the calendar.
Alright, I should be ready now.
Alright, this is my comp Sega from practice yesterday, but we are playing... Oh, where's my fit? This is not my Yunjin. There we go. This is it. Yeah, Mina, I don't think we have anything on the calendar this time.
didn't even ready up. I suck.
We got all the time in the world.
We're gonna be torchbearers, right? If we can.
I am all about this torchbearer flashbang save situation on 2v8. Like, I thought that I was married to the pallet one, where you can make the pallets and you can scout the survivor, the killer. But now that I'm on torchbearer, I don't think I'm ever gonna look back, honestly.
You've joined the dark side. Love it.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is the chance to do it when it's on 1v4 and you're lurking for flashbangs. I just feel like you're wasting too much time not being on a gen. And when it's 2v8, it's not a big a deal if you're not on a gen.
That is true.
I
6
just-
others should be on it.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel peer pressure when and I feel guilty towards other survivors if I don't do my job as a gen princess. Hex, good morning. Welcome and I'll be lurking. Here now, have a lovely day and stream. Both love you all. Thank you, Hex. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. I'm ready to game.
I see Mina is calling you out.
Oh god, what did I do now? You should clip that. It's not that big of a deal when you're not on a gen. Then make a clip of all the times you said, why is no one on a gen? Yeah, I guess I say that a lot.
I've heard you say that too.
Listen, it's a lot of pressure for me. Okay, when I'm in chase, I want people to do gens because it's hard.
Oh, I get that, 100%.
There's a big man in the middle of the map, and he's fast. Slinger, I think.
I have a slinger on me.
It'll be funny TikTok.
I need to find a different mute button.
Do I say it in 2v8 though? Why no one's on the gen? I think I say it more in 1v4. Oh shit, I'm scared.
I has been hooked.
Oh, Blight!
Oh, it's a blight. Nice.
Yeah. I wish I had more time to go over my VODs. If I had,
Did you see Funko's
this
save
time?
challenge?
Not, I don't think so. Why you and these?
I am being tunneled out, I think.
Shit, it's too early. Yeah. Oh, this is a problem. He called in a boyfriend. Oh, they took a little sidestep there. Nope. That was good. Clever. Most of the trades when you did good and then wonder why no did. Yes. But I think that's more a 1v4 the problem than it is at 2v8. But if I get a chance to go over the VODs. Oh my god, they got fat shamed between the rocks. Those girls. I saw that! Oh, I got scared. Oh, should be scared.
think the bike's gonna go for me.
I think so. He's on me at the minute. Now he lost me. Okay, I'm coming back, I'm coming back. Is this you? No, he's on the sable. Don't die. Don't die, Swish. Shit, I saved the sable though.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Swish. I'll die soon. We'll go next. Yeah, it doesn't count. Nah, it was unfortunate that they were both there. I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows we're here, honestly. Oh my god, can I just heal you, lady? I'm kinda trying to go next.
I'm so shit against the gunslinger, honestly.
I mean, if the 2v1 is pretty much no one can escape that. And the thing the hunt for the save is usually what kills you, right? Because if you didn't want to stick around to save the sable the same way I did, then maybe you could have got away. But this happens to me all the time when I'm trying to save someone else.
I didn't stick around though, I tried to run.
Oh, then the Deathslinger was there, and that's just unlucky.
I decided to get a shot.
Nah, it's just warm up. It's just warm up.
Unlucky.
It might have been back his head, to be honest. Oh shit! See, the thing, when they're together. This is the problem. When they're together, there's just no solving it.
That slinger shot scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too. I had no idea he was there.
Doesn't hear you.
I thought he'd had. He's changing again. She had sprint burst. I'm gonna do this gem. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people in cages over there. Everyone got fat shamed again. I'm in the exact same hook spot as last time.
Yeah, that tile there is yours.
Shit. Nice move.
Unlucky.
I should have gone into check. I thought the window was on this side. Unlucky. Days, good morning. Welcome in. Enjoy a daily doggo treat. Thank you for the redeem.
So young.
I know, she was not ready to die.
Not the worst warm-up game. Not the best.
Have I redeemed
Another,
code Joker's Wild?
Survivor game?
Yeah, ideally. Have you redeemed Joker's Wilds? I don't think I did. It's for the unknown headpiece, right? I can't say that I think we did. Maybe we can remember like this. Glenny, enjoy your daily doggo treat. Thank you for the redeem. 29 treats. You're at work, so mainly lurking. Stream wasn't on schedule. No, it was extra stream days. I think I texted Swish on Wednesday because we were supposed to stream together last week and then we had to cancel. And then 2v8 got extended, and I think I literally texted him on Wednesday and said, "Do you want to try again for Friday?" So it was an extra stream late planned. I had it pinned as a message in the last stream, but I'm struggling to keep everybody informed. Thank you for the follow, Rajani. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support for the channel. I appreciate you. Let me try one thing. The chat's identical. And then you have icons. Good morning, Glenny. Welcome in. Good to see you.
All right, take two.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can actually survive a little bit longer.
I mean, I did fine.
Yeah, you did perfect. I sucked.
Nah, the double team is unescapable.
I have a slinger curse. I can't.
Oh, yeah, Slinger's never fun. I don't mind Blight, but Slinger... Oh, and Chucky as well.
Oh my god, this tile is... Oh. Okay. It's gonna have to do something here.
Of course I'm up queued up as Nemi. It's the only way to go. I saw that Wesker coming and I was like, nope, I'm not taking a hit. Nope. I hear Chucky. Yep, there is a Chucky. Oh. Nice, chasing the lights.
Have you seen the Chucky yet? I haven't seen it vertically.
He's been at Shack area. Here? Oh, he's with us now. Hello. Okay. I mean, maybe he's still. Oh. Oh. I don't think you can. I don't think you can save Wesker grabs these days with beams. Flashbangs, yes. Not with beams. Weekdays are pretty busy. I don't always get to reach out. Of course, Days. I appreciate you here. I don't know if I put it in the Discord, and also I don't like to go around and tag everybody for every single thing, because I find it annoying when it happens to me. So.
Oh my god.
For me? There's no way he grabbed me here and didn't see this tonic. Insanity. They have a lot of pressure. Hello?
Ooh, I only have one hit stage. Why do you have 0? Why are you so good?
I removed mine.
Ah.
I thought the Wesker pushed me into a green tonic, so I thought he was gonna remove it, and then he never ended up removing it.
Yeah, honestly, when you see them, you might as well just use them because
That's
they're
it.
killers.
Yeah, unless I'm with friends and their death hook, I'm like, you should get it, but
A lot of Steve just left.
did he just abandon you after?
Yeah, he could have sprayed me.
I have a.
Double heal with the Jill.
I mean, I should do it. Yeah. Maybe he had some other business to attend to.
He's spraying me. I love it.
Oh, someone's dying over there in the far corner. Well, I can't save him now. It's too late. That's unlucky. Oh, they're both here. The double team. Oh, that's so dumb. Oh, man. Nice, nice, nice. Good effort.
Does Wesker have Shadow?
Potentially.
Oh, they're doubling.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Good old Pookie Tech.
Chucky's near me. I don't like the tippy taps.
I know, we can never know where they are. Oh, Wesker, give me a check.
Need to see if we can find some people.
Oh, and I have Chucky as well. Oh no. Well. Yeah, they're just holding hands now. Yeah, like I'm gonna fall for that again, Chucky. Silly goose.
I fell for it. God damn it.
No, yeah, that's the thing. When they're together, that's annoying.
Seem to have a friend here, Mika.
Yeah. Everybody's dying. Slowly.
First.
I know, I didn't want to say it because it's just warm up still. This one also didn't count. Dave? Are we celebrating?
Kazzy followed your channel.
Are you new here? What's happening?
Yeah, you can play on the keyboard mouse and keyboard and play silent.
Oh. Steven. You must be new here. Okay, Twitch. Damn, that Fung almost made it out the gate. I'm wondering now if Steven and I had left, they would have had Hatch. I just realized if me and Steven would have left, they both had a chance at Hatch. I realized it too late.
Alright. Well, we should have a killer here now. I think.
Yes, we should.
I'll be Uni.
Good. Hey yo, Mike, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. How's your morning going? Playing killer? I'm never ready. Not me being
God of
rude and not
IQ
following.
followed your channel.
Nah, you felt that I was playing killer right now. And you were just like, oh, let me hop over.
There we go.
Scrim training was good yesterday, Mike. I think we did on the team side, like the comms and stuff. We're about to see some talent on 2v8. I don't know. I just kind of, for me, it's like I'm kind of happy when I get it down, whichever one I get. Basically, that's me on killer. I'm a survivor main, Mike. Like, what do you mean tunneling? I just try to get downs. That's the objective.
Alright,
Oh,
Mika. Let's do this.
let's do this.
Oh, I see someone already.
It's kind of why I'm playing Nemi, because
I
the
don't
zombies
block stuff.
do a lot of work for me.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 I got distracted. See? Problems.
I got the first down, but she's in a pallet. Ah, no. I got flash, that's it.
This is not going to go through. Yeah, there were a lot of survivors still there. Maybe I should have helped, but I was too busy. Oh my god, they killed a zombie at least.
This Lara is a demon.
This K2. Ah, I blocked her from the pallet. Okay, maybe she's not a demon. Just re-got the fuck out of that pallet.
Okay, I have my power.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not chasing her. Good day.
There's a lot of people here. Holy shit.
You seen some survivors over there? Oh, nice. You can go, you can go. I pick. I'm there. Down. Nice down. Yes, good teamwork. I'm coming. Oh, I didn't know if you wanted your power or maybe you were out. Doesn't matter. Who's here?
Should have a lot more. I see 11.
11 survivors?
7-11? Oh, getting...
Oh my god, I almost got spawned. You're both doing well. Thanks, Mike. Not my worst game, but...
We got this. Let me get my power again now. Oh, I see 2 people.
Beautiful.
Is this you with the tail?
Bro, I got hold, but then she also fell, so it's not so bad.
You know what to say, right? When you get pulled, you're just doing it to make survivors feel bad about themselves.
Okay, I will remember that. Now this is a tunnel, Mike. BT.
Why is this so survivors so fast?
Beautiful, thank you.
Let me get that way.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Let's get that out of the way.
See someone here.
The zombies give so much information. Yes, tunnel more.
I love your zombies.
Yeah, the zombies are the best. Who's this? Oh, it's the 11. I do not want this chase, actually. Or what do you call this, Robin? Okay.
Oh, my monster's so...
Gorgeous. I know, Taze, but it's so unforgiving when I miss it. I feel like I'm so slow.
Got power again.
I'm here if you want to keep going.
Yeah, perfect.
Just don't miss. GG easy. I got beam saved. That was beautiful. That was barely an angle. Well done. Where is everyone?
Jets are flying.
Yeah.
Oh no!
But it's I usually the was that the Lara? Nice. Usually the game gets more complicated the fewer gens there are. You'll get more downs later on in the game. Oh wow, missing all three. Oh my god. No. It's getting out of control, this.
I just added a stupid thing.
GG, no pellets. The second I picked up, I heard her. And I was like, no! They're gonna save! Where are we?
So much blood on this map, I love this.
I should not be chasing her. I need something to follow. Now that was funny.
Okay, someone's trying to blood from the side. Like after. Fantastic.
Nice looping.
It does look like we're doing pretty decent here.
That's the thing. The fewer gens there are left, you'll generally see the games get harder for the survivors. This is why I play Nemi, Mike. It's my only chance. I'm coming to pick. Is she up? No.
Okay, I can't tear the survivors. Power again.
Nice. She's dead. This Kate's dead. I need to change the color of my scratch marks. I don't know why it's blue. I think I changed it in the PTB and I need it just to be red, honestly. Oh, wrong button. Hold on.
There's a saber here that's so freaking stealthy.
I've not seen that Sable all game, honestly.
Yeah, she's playing very smart.
Pink works best. Reshade, yeah, I need to look into that, honestly. I was playing the Secret Ingredient tourney on Saturday, right? And I had no idea she was on the gen. I'm a flop.
Power again. No one's at the door.
There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Dead arms. Is her friend here? Probably, right? I licked this rock. I don't know. I was playing the Secret Ingredient tournament on Saturday, and we were only two survivors left, and my teammate was was being slugged,
Scratch
and
marks.
I had to try and
There's two in the middle.
help my teammate or get the door. And I was stealthing for about 17 years, and then I got found edge map, and I looked back at the VOD and I was like, how in the world did he see me? GG's. And I was like, I should have, if they must have been on something, she needs to go. On some sort of filters, because even on the screen, I didn't see myself. I was like, how did he see me? I need to look into that. And yeah, I think I changed. This is a strange thing. I don't remember ever changing my scratch marks on this, but I changed it on the PTB to test it. Pink. Okay, let's go pink. Pretty in pink. I'm here for it. Ads. Oh yeah, we're gonna run an ad now, guys. We're gonna run it now before we go into the next game, so you don't have to miss anything. Please bear with. We will be right back. I apologize for the ads, and thank you for your support. Hi, Volt. Welcome in. This is the famous MVP. I don't know about famous. But I'm definitely... I'm here. Let's do this. And... Infamous. Reset could help so much on certain maps. Help me see when crows move easier as well. Yeah, I need to look into that. Dalia, thank you for your help with the ads. Is reshade, is that something you have to... Is that the NVIDIA filters, or is that something else? I need to look into that. Reshade home.
Not me not reading up. Whoopsie.
I thought you were waiting out the ads. I thought it was a very, very responsible choice.
No, I figured there's no point with us having two different ad settings, most likely.
They're running on par at the minute, because I'm also running them.
Okay. Hi, Bolts.
Bolts, how are you? How's your week going? Good morning, Fabio. Welcome in.
Also, I'm trying to...
I am playing with Swish.
I'm going to be playing on mouse and keyboard now.
Research its own thing. I can DM you available, guide you through it and help. Oh yeah, yeah. If you don't mind, Mike, that would be great. Hey, Kosu, Panu, GG's, well done. We were pulling it back, and then I thought we had it, and then we didn't. I mean, 2 mana now, 2v8. It's a good result, but yeah. GG's. It's been a little busy, a little bit rough lately. My boss is actually, oh shit, Bolts, I'm sorry. That's so awful when it happens on a workplace. There's so little you can do about it. I've heard so many stories from friends when there's bullying in the workplace. I'm sorry, Bolts. Please look after yourself, and be sure to check your rights, both in this matter, and should you feel unable to perform your job and call in sick, Just be sure to see. HR is not on the people side, fools. HR is on the business side. They won't be supporting you. Try to, if you want, I can help you think for solutions. There's external agencies that help with stuff like this and inform you about your rights, about the steps to take. They're usually for free. Yeah, business. Yeah, exactly. Fabio knows exactly what I mean. HR is not on the people's side; they're on the business side. Please, I can write you what happened in private. Yes, fools. If you want, let's. I mean, even if it's just to talk about it, I have a lot of experience, both
Okay,
from
Mika,
my
this
side
game,
in businesses
I'm
and
gonna last it again.
talking to other people. And yeah, maybe we can sort something. We have an external person who can contact if there's things like that at my work. Yeah. That's a really healthy thing. Usually HR is business resources and rarely people gets outside counsel first, exactly. Or if you're like in a union to talk to them, exactly, Kay. Hi, Kay. Good morning. Good to see you. I obviously saw you in Swishes, but I didn't want to be all replying to Swishes chats. Roger, and can read when I have time? Yes. By the way, I need to walk the dogs and stuff. See you later. Both have fun. Thanks for stopping by, Volts. And we'll talk soon. Oh, I'm a controller again. Hold on. Survivor. Do we have a DC?
I'm not sure. It's taking forever.
You and both, just waiting for love to smack him finally. Long-awaited payback? Oh, God. Oh, God. You're a patient man then, Kay.
I just got a message from the police and it scared the crap out of me.
Oh, no. Is it like an Amber Alert, like a local thing?
No.
or-
It's my passport about to run out.
Ah, okay. Well, you want that locked after,
But-
yes.
But I was like, oh no, what have I done now? Shit.
Yeah. What have you done now? Okay. Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Yeah, that looked like it. The police notify. I guess in Norway they're onto that. They want people to be able to identify themselves. Billy Wraith. Okay, I'm sad about the Billy, not sad about the Wraith. I see a lot of people playing the new Resi. Me too, Glenny. Me too.
I told you I was gonna escape.
Yes, you did. Finally, it worked. Right, I was gonna pin this. Hold on. It's gonna get a game, isn't it? Nice. Perfect. We got it. Lurk meetings from hell start now. Catch you again soon. Thanks for stopping by, Mike. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate your support for the channel. I hope your meetings go well. And I'll see you tomorrow for tourney. Also, gamers, if you don't follow God of IQ, they're a killer main. I'm learning a whole lot over there. It's always a good time. It's a good stream. It's interesting. It's for a Survivor
Shout
main
out
to
to
see
God of
killer
IQ.
point of view. It's it opens your world. Please go check them out. God of IQ. We're in a tourney together tomorrow, as well as with Slay, who was here earlier this morning. Share drop a follow. Share love with our new friends. I forgot to give Slay a shout out. I'm sick.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, not a good map. I don't know how to loop on this. I'm on the side. I'm staying like away from main. No terror radius? No. Oh no. Why? 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 Why?
And Wesker.
Okay. Nice. Good chase though. Finish this gen, I'll see if I can help. He changed to me. He changed to me. With?
Back on the mid again. Oh, fuck me. Just get the crap out of me.
They always do. They always do. Do you want to heal? Are you gonna heal with them? Okay, cool. Oh, Wesker's here. And he's shadowed, clearly. Oh, Ghostface is also here! Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh, things are happening. They're all here, they're all here. Everyone's here.
You disappoint me. Is that the best you've got?
There's over 230k people playing the new Resident Steam alone right now. Yeah. And isn't that game like super expensive?
Just
Oh. They got the save in between two killers. You paid the price for it, but I'm safe. That's the most important thing. Oh, hello. Yes. Oh, Ghostface. Fuck my life. Reinstall?
Yeah, I keep having audio skips.
Okay. If you need to reboot, we can. I mean, whatever you want.
No, like reinstall.
Oh, okay. You wonder if Wesker's in the new Resident Evil? Every new game is super expensive. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess there's like a huge hype right now, right? But I've never even played Resident Evil, so I didn't look into playing that already.
God damn it.
But yeah, I saw when I went to bed, but Ari and Pokemon, yeah. When I went to bed, I saw a lot of people saying, "We're streaming DBD now, Resident Evil later." Shut up and take my money.
That Wesker on me.
Fair, Fabio, fair. You're an enthusiast. It's okay. Get on that shit.
There's no way.
And then when I woke up, yeah, most of the streamers that I was following were streaming Ari. Okay, I help. Addict's the word that I was looking for. Okay, yeah, you go heal. I do a gen. Oh. This ghost face. Oh shit. No!
I'm not a fan of the Wesker vacuum.
Oh, bro, me getting stuck in that wall just wasted so much time and I couldn't make it to the palace. Sick. Why was everyone there? I was just chilling on my gen.
Honestly, 8 people on this map is such a clusterfuck.
Yeah. Sounds like Lake is here. Good morning, Lake. Welcome in. How are you? Just gonna kick that gen. Dance party. Oh, hold on.
I expected more
Oh
fun.
no, I died. Bad times. Yeah.
I haven't heard that song before today. This is what it is.
Somebody saved me. Somebody saved me with a sprint burst. That was huge. Blake, how's your day going? Happy Friday.
Thanks.
Toxic swish with the flashbang. Oh shit, I need to save him.
Are you dead?
Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Oh my god, yeah, I can't save that.
I just need 2 minutes.
And Wesker only had 7 minutes to spare.
No, I need 2 minutes to see if I can remove some.
Oh,
some sources or
okay.
something.
Yeah, all good. Lake, enjoy your daily doggo treat. Thank you for the redeem and thank you for the dance. Welcome in. Yeah, gamers, the wonderful sleigh was in here earlier as well. And they're also my team for tomorrow. They are an amazing
Shout out to
gamer
Slay X
from
Queen X.
from Germany. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. I love spending time with them. It's been really nice getting to know them, and they know a lot about Survivor. They're very active. They're active in comp. They are playing for the Women's World Cup for Germany. Luckily for me, the Netherlands is in the other pool, so we don't have to face Germany just yet for the World Cup. We have our games on March 22nd. That's a month from now. The Dutch team will be facing Finland and UK. You'll see a lot of familiar faces in the UK team. A lot of the big female UK content creators are on that team. And the other pool is France, Germany, and Spain. And our wonderful friend Clove is the captain of the Spanish team. And Slay is on the German team. Broodje op de kaart vandaag? Nice. Oh. Pinned the wrong message, didn't I? See what Swish is up to. This raid will get to our killer game in no time. And long day yesterday. Thursdays I have to go to the office. I was so tired. I get up early, right? To get a train. To get to work in time because I have quite a commute.
Alright, I think we can just keep going. I can't figure it out.
Oh, I'm sorry. It sucks.
No, it's fine.
I was so tired when I was about to go home at the end of the day. I hopped in the wrong train. And I didn't realize until 30 minutes in. I was like at a train station and I was like, what station is this? And I look at the sign and I am nowhere near my home. it was bad. I was just too tired. I don't think that ever happened to me. And I'm trying to like go back, retracing my steps, what happened. And normally when you go down the stairs, the train is to the right. And I think this time it must have been on the other side. And I didn't look at the sign. Train was pulling up. I go in, I sit down. Went complete wrong way. So it took me another 40 minutes to get home. I had to change trains twice. Again, to get home after that. Fucking an ass has been ass lady, canceling and rescheduling, replacing Intercity with Sprinter. Oh, that's frustrating. I have to say,
Not
Days.
me not reading up again. Sorry.
That's alright.
Attention,
Lot going
Alien
on.
Army. We do have a raid incoming. I repeat, a raid
Raid?
incoming.
Hello? Kimsiko? Thank you so much for the raid.
Kim Sieko rated your channel
Kim
with
Sieko.
29 viewers.
Welcome in. Why is there no raid message? I'm so confused. Did we get raided? Hi, hello, we did. Forgot a raid message. No, you're fine. Hi, welcome in. Thank you so much for bringing your community here. I appreciate you. Were you playing some DBD? Were you on the 2v8? Welcome in, welcome in. Gamers, if you came in with the raid and you don't know who I am, my name is MVP. The M stands for Micah. I'm an official Dead by Daylight content creator from the Netherlands. I'm a Survivor main. I love playing Dead by Daylight. I'm a Gen Princess. I'm on the Torchbearer because I love my flashbang saves. Huge 2v8 fan, let's go! Me too. Me too. When I'm not playing DBD, you can find me cat sitting, dog sitting. I work at a horse's stables. Oh my god, you're in the Women Guild? Let's go! I dropped you a follow,
Shout
gamer.
out to Kim Sieko.
Are you EU time zone? Are you NA? Thank you so much for trusting me with your community. Welcome in, everyone. Yeah, we've got a whole... It's almost 11 a.m. here. We've got a whole morning of 2v8 planned here with my friend Swish. So stick around for good vibes, a good time, and a lot of DBD. We're playing Killer and Survivor today. Kimsey, I understand if you need to raid and run, please look after yourself. Oh, you're NA? Okay. But you see you in a DBD group in the guildies? Yeah, oh good, good, good. Yeah, I need to pay more attention. I already met some girls because we are representing the Twitch Women's Guild in the Dead by Daylight tournament in 2 weeks. And I saw that there was a new thread that was started with DBD enthusiasts, and I was like, I need to look into following these gamers so we can get some games in and everything. So yeah, thank you for coming to say hi. I'll be here too, but for the Latin Guild. Oh, nice. Oh, you're playing for the Latin Guild. That's huge. Yeah, I can't believe how many teams they were able to put together from like the different groups and guilds. That's gonna be so much fun. That's happening 14 March, guys. And our game is like... We have our killer game at 6 p.m. And I think the Survivor game... Oh, Trapper. Is like 9. Really want to meet other cuties in our guild to play. Everyone is so nice and adorable. Yes, 100%. I played a 2v8 8-way streamer event on Tuesday through tennis at the disco, and met so many people playing DBD, and it's just so nice to meet everyone, and everyone is so like wholesome. Everyone is so nice.
Kim Sieko followed your channel.
I have an angry trapper on me.
It's really great to meet new DBD friends and horror gaming friends through the guilds. So thank you. I really appreciate you coming to say hi, bringing your community here. Oh, Ghostface again.
Trapper's judging me. I flashed at him and he just turned around and looked at me.
14 March is also Steak and Blowjob Day. Is that official? Because I have a tournament. I'm busy that day. I don't think she needs help.
This trapper.
Is he funny? Is he the founding trapper?
Yeah, he's like, every time I do anything, he just turns around and looks at me.
Oh, okay. He's got a personality. We can work with that.
Oh, he's cool. Oh, hell no.
Ghostface left that phone, guys. Anyway, you're going just to get some rest? Yes, but I would love to game with you in the future. Yes, 100%. I've got you followed now, so I'll find you on Discord as well. We can keep in touch.
For this.
I've got your stream up. I need to save you or see you?
Save me.
Oh, okay. Come coming.
It's scary.
Oh, I'm really far. I'm gonna step in a trap on the way to you. Wait, I'm going the wrong way.
Ah, shit.
Oh, I would have had that if I would have been sooner. Okay, now he's on me. I was minding my own business on a gen and now I'm being chased by a trapper. Explain yourself. Oh, he's kicking my gen. Good, I'll go this way. Oh!
I'll use it for a wait.
Yeah, technically I was never in chase. I just walked into a ghost face. It's a month after Valentine's every year. Don't be hating on my duo, okay?
Kick lights on everybody.
Right?
He hasn't even joined the World of Warcraft guild. Toxic fuck.
Bouquet.
I'm gonna go fight. I'm gonna get this.
We both get this? I don't get this. You get this. I distract. I thought you were gonna get this. That's not even an angle, bro. Hi, Nick. Welcome in. How are you? There's a killer there, by the way. Yeah, I know, but I didn't think he would see me. I thought I was being very stealthy. Never mind me wearing a bright purple shirt. Nick, confidence is half of this game. You've got to be aware of that. He doesn't know, right? Oh, he knows everything. No, yeah, that's I don't know. Oh, there's no, oh. No, it's automatic. Ghostface there as well. Oh no! That's the thing, altruism kills. I wanted to save them and then I died. You blended so good, about as much as Fabio that one time. Yes, when you were standing in a dark corner. I hate on everyone equally. Okay, then it's okay. The car you've had for 10 years had its MOT yesterday and it's gonna cost a 1.1k to get fixed. Oh no, Nick, that is so rough. That is so rough. I'm sorry. We will remember your baby though. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever made a grab save in my life. That was huge. Did you see the panic on my face, Kay? I was panicking. I was panicking. I was like, I should not be in this position. Other peoples are way better equipped. Other peoples are way better equipped to make these kind of saves. You're looking at Resi 9, Glenny? I'm not surprised. You've said 5 sentences in this chat today, 3 of which were about Resident Evil 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 survivors still.
Can't stop blocking me. Oh
No,
my
no, no.
fuck.
I think we just block you in. Oh, you beat me. Laurie. Oh. Okay. Hold on.
That's the disturbance.
Nice, that's good points.
Are we leaving or not?
Yeah, Laurie's out of trouble. And I hope the other survivor is safe too. Kinda. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, the Ghostface is there. It's not like we can do anything now. Eight. Thank you, Nick. I was very nervous. I actually bawled my eyes out last night at my first scar. Good night, Barbara, my queen. Oh my god, Nick. I feel for you. I completely understand. That's rough. Yeah. It's time to let her go. You want to experience it spoiler free?
Kill a game.
Jonah's barking your ear. What's up with Jonah? Is he upset? Dark corner on the spotlight. Yeah, that clip, guys, if you don't know what happened, Fabio was working from Japan and he brought, I don't know, maybe the PlayStation so he could game with us. But the settings on his TV were very dark, but because everything was in Japanese, he wasn't able to turn up the brightness. So he played DVD with us, and there was one time, it was on RPD, in a little room where they have a chest next to the stairs. Shadow's gold, to be honest. And he stood in a corner. The Nemi was coming towards him, and he goes, "He'll never see me," because on his screen, that little corner looked dark as fuck. Little did he know, when you actually had normal brightness settings, and I saw him from the other side, he was like this bright red dress Ada, just standing in a corner, and you could see him from miles away. This is classic Fabio play. You can't just share these details so easily. It's a public clip, Fabio. And also, you should be putting that in your video thing that you were making about Best of Fabio. Hello.
Hi.
They're
I just
here
heard
on this side.
don't.
Yeah, I know. That's why I can't play Shadow. Oh, the hint is beautiful. And I dragged that whip beautifully as well.
Being very stealthy here. Oh my god.
Where is he? He's not here. He left. He left 17 years ago. Hold on. That's never gonna happen. What am I doing?
Nice.
Classic. Oh, these pink scratch marks are so much better than the blue ones. Shit.
I feel like the gem progression is.
The injured survivor coming your way? Thank you. Tell me, I feel like what?
The gens are flying,
Yeah,
or they will be flying soon.
I mean, we're doing our best here. I got blast light. Good morning, Waze. Thank you for the daily doggo treat. Welcome in.
Great. Oh no, no, don't finish this.
I can. Are you here? I hear you. I can pick if you want to go.
She finished it, but she died for it.
Nice.
So be.
Beautiful. Good work. Oh my god, I got blast line again. Thank you.
Nice.
Good teamwork. Love to see it. Yep. What's happening over here? By me. You're not running anywhere, Ada. You're just running. Why go to a pallet, gamer?
Do we have anyone on that there?
I have no idea. I don't think I hooked someone more than once.
Come on, zombies.
I don't have time for this.
We have Claudettes crawling around in the dark. How are we gonna find people? Good luck.
Go to the pallet, Ada! She's just running.
You can chase people. We have two guys.
There's an Ada on Deathlook and a Renato. I think.
Oh, I can kill these zombies.
Tell me this hasn't been remade. Thank you.
Oh, hello. Oh, no, what does it get? Let's see. It's Janus progression.
Who you guys chasing? I got stuck, yo.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's fixed now. Hold on. She just holds W. What am I doing? No beam saves this game. No flashbang demons, flashlight demons, just blast mines. Beautiful. See, when you get to fewer gens, if you keep like actively pushing, you can pull it back. Nice down. I see him if you want me to pick it, if you want to keep going. Okay.
I think people might be using faucets as well.
I think there's people here by this gym. Because I see my zombies. They are chasing someone. Beautiful. Nice. Yeah, we only have 3 left. It's Hedge. If she's Deathlook. I've closed the hatch here.
Is hatch time?
Yeah, it's Hedge. One's closed.
I see someone.
Yeah, you go.
Oh my god, I almost got that. Ooh, there was a hatch here.
Yeah, I found the last one. If you've got that one. Yeah, all of them are closed. Do you have the Jane? Yeah, I don't know where the Fung is. Nice.
Okay.
Ah, I see a zombie. Giving information. There could be a Fung here.
I think a door is open. Is it?
No, we closed all the hatches. Not found her.
That was. Are we gonna get a Moody Mori or a
Oh, he's fine. Zombie down. Yes. Now all the killers have played a part. So what? Don't kill them. He helped. What do you mean?
Sorry.
Go.
You ready for this?
Yeah. How many become a zombie?
to say that was a good game.
It was. I thought Nami was gonna punch Oni. Killer fight? Yeah, I should have. I should have done that.
Really want to get that beer skin.
Oh, the bear. Yeah, that's good. Move queuing up a serve? Oh, you're on the bear skin. Hold on.
Yeah, Just give me 1 second, okay?
Yeah. All good. I thought he was just mentioning, like, in general, that he would love to get the bear skin, but he's actually getting it.
I don't think you can see.
Just be sure, gamer, you don't want that information public. Mina's very excited about the bear Oni.
Me too, honestly. I've heard it's pay to win.
I mean, we just got an 8K, we don't need it. But if you want to. You can see how much you're improving on Killer. I think, Glenny, it's more
I have
luck
a cat now.
and the fact that the level of the players is not as good. I don't feel like I'm improving anything. But I appreciate you saying that. I just think I'm still gonna struggle most days on Killer.
Mika, if we get the opportunity, can I get the more next game too?
Of course, yes, we want to see that bear, Mori.
Yay. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Mina's here for it. Does Adam have a Rift skin? Because that's the second time I've seen an Adam wearing this pink shirt. And I wonder, is everybody just wearing that skin? Or is that the same guy? You know, maybe next time I should just remember the names and then we'll know sooner, but I don't look at the names usually.
Alright, are you ready, Mika?
Always. Well, get ready. We're in the game. I see an Oni. I think. Wesker? Oh, where's the door? I don't want to talk about it.
Do you actually think you can defeat me?
Oh, I didn't get that. Oh my god, he's disgustingly good. I like this.
I have a bad feeling about this game.
Still a thing. Yeah, this Wesker is good.
Yeah, I'm going second. It's final. They're gonna let me go second.
You go and find something green, okay? That's blue.
Yeah, the blue one is the healing one.
It's blue.
Yeah, Wesker's here.
Oh my god, this Wesker is disgusting, actually. Hit him all. No, fuck. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh shit. Yeah. Everybody's just dying around me. Holy hell. All the screams. Tech is good. Shit. There's remains. This pallet's already been used.
Is that all you have?
He's better! It's what it is. Quick toilet break, but I'll ready up. Gamers, we're gonna run a quick ad break. We're gonna run it now before we go into the next game so you don't have to miss anything. Please bear with. I apologize for your ads. We'll be right back. Thank you for your support.
I'm gonna try to rejoin the Discord, okay? Mika?
Yeah, that's fine.
I tried to pay, he begged me to stay. Babe, I'm not staying, I just wanna play. In the party, he just wanna romp. Big boobs in the bus, they pump. She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie with her baddie.
4 months. Tuinbone and Tret subscribe to your channel for 4 months.
Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you for continued support. 4 months. Hello, 4 months. That's huge. Thank you. How is your day going? Let me pull up the wheel before we move on. Anything I can do to help? I don't know. You're time bomb. Yeah, I was making my way back from the hallway. Time bomb. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the resub and your continued support. 4 months is crazy. Thank you, thank you. Where's my wheel at? Let's go. Taze, first things first, wait your turn. Jawbreak roulette it is. Alright. We have 1 fireball left, 5 sour, 2 sweet, and a watermelon. Let's see what we get.
Yeah, I can't do this right now.
Oh, sour. Oh, very sour. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, it's bad. Ugh. I don't like this.
Probably just gonna have to do one more game and then I'm gonna have to stop. I can't play like this.
What's the is it an audio issue?
I have a constantly, like, just in this screen here, I hear the beer go breathing, lagging. Like his breathing is lagging.
Okay.
It's that bad.
What if could it be the game? Do you want to reboot DVD?
I could try to reboot it as admin, maybe. I don't know. Let me give it a try.
Yeah.
But it basically feels like torture playing right now.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Is it maybe because of the stream together? Is it taking bandwidth, or like is it just a shared chat? You wanna?
No. This happens every fucking stream. It's always a thing with me, sadly.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear. That's annoying.
I thought it was the wireless headsets that was doing it, but now
Yeah.
I'm using wired.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Even now with no game running, my music is lagging.
Oh.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I do think I might have to just cancel on you now because I
Yeah,
can't
I mean, if it's frustrating, it's frustrating.
Yeah. So hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And I'll just read into you.
That sucks, Squish, but this was good. We had really good killer games, survivor games. Mediocre, but we were focused on the killer games, so that was good.
There we go. Alright, I'm just gonna read into you.
Alright.
You have,
Thank you so much for the
fun
stream.
games.
Yes, we'll see. Of course, we'll
Sorry.
plan something else. No, you're fine, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Thanks so much for playing.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Attention Alien Army, we do have a raid incoming. I repeat, a raid incoming.
Swishy rated your channel with 16 viewers.
Thank you, Swish. I'm sorry for the tech issues. That sucks. But I really had a good time. Thank you so much for gaming together and suggesting this collab. And we pick it up another time. Sorry for the chewing, I just did a jawbreaker roulette, guys. It was not good. It was a very sour jawbreaker. I was not happy. I was not happy. But it's over now. We're gonna keep going on the 2v8 Survivor. If anybody wants to hop in, you're welcome to join. Dahlia, good to see you again. Thanks. Gamers, if you like your earrings, thank you. I love them too. Thank you, thank you. If you came in with the raid with Swish and you don't know who I am, my name is MVP. The M stands for Maaike. I'm an official Dead by Daylight content creator. I'm from the Netherlands. I love playing Dead by Daylight. I'm a Survivor main. I'm a Gen Princess. Wiglif is my favorite perk. And I get the occasional flashbang save here as well. When I'm not playing DBD, you can find me cat sitting, dog sitting. I work at a horse's stables. Welcome in, everyone. Count me in, you should have normal ping. Alright, Dahlia. Let me know when you're ready to game. I'll wait a few moments here. Or should I play one? I can wait. We'll just give it a second. You're here already? Holy hell, Mina wasted no time. You're here? Where? Oh, Dahlia's already here. Mina's already here, just not in my... Where are we going? Dahlia? Oh, Mina, sorry. I think we're going UK. Come. Alrighty. Mina with the beam. We love to see it. No, UK is fine. UK is fine. Let's go. No beam? Aww. No, thank you. I wasn't sure, like, maybe, I mean, you could be onto something. No more beam trauma. Nah. Oh yeah, you could do VC if you want. Oh yeah, I was checking something. Oh, you did D&D and vodka? That sounded like a good time. I heard beam trauma. I was like, who's scared of beams? Yes, that's not the thing. No, we're talking beams. I yelled at Mina. It's in my last, I think it's in the 2025 highlights, Dahlia, if you wanted to see that. D&D vodka was amazing. Ah, wonderful. I'm glad you had a good time. No, Swish had to end because of tech issues. Sher Khan, I'm sorry to inform you, but he raided here. We're gonna be playing Survivor for at least another hour and a half here. If you want to hang out. That's a Wesker. Yes, broad bean bitch, but in Dutch, yes. Did Killikey was the Wesker from the Cold Wind? Oh my god, you were insane. You can stick around. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I thought you were from Swish's stream. But yeah, we were playing together. And he had some tech issues, which was really unfortunate. But yeah, you were insane. You got those hog techs down, no issue. GG, well played. I hope your 2v8 is, games are going well. Wesker Nemi. They're not coming here. Alright, I'll do this gen. I fucked up my first chase because I struggle with my camera when I'm looking behind me on controller, and that's when I ran into Shack Wall, which is dumb as fuck. And then the team let me go second, so that was a shitty game for me. But yeah, you were insane on Wesker. Yeah, left so wooden ghost. Oh, that's very nice of you. That, I mean, even if you had kept up the stream but didn't like use it for information, you're still fine, right? Yeah. Okay, you heal yourself. I do this gen. Next one will be better. Exactly, exactly. That's with DBD, right? You queue up and you go again. You just queue up and you go again. That's what I always do anyways. Love that name. It's really good name. It's for a fun game mode, no point to ghost. Yeah, also. It's a good point. I've done 2 gens, guys. What's happening? You were summoned for a carry? I don't think that's what I said, Sketch. I don't remember saying that, but come game. Those words were not spoken. Why do I have a red survivor? Ah. And a green, and that was a DC. Don't go that way. He didn't even know I was there. Mina! There's a Wesker there! I don't know. I don't know, I saw those words, so those are the ones I remembered. I see. Very selective memory there. Someone needs to go save these guys on the other side. House games? I was having a really good time with Switch, but unfortunately the tech issues, they had to end early. Bolt, come back. Bolt. Bolt. The bot's trying to talk to us, guys. Alright, does anyone have a spray? Yes, thank you. Thank you for the dance. I don't know that there's enough for you as well. Why is this person still on the hook? Nice, good dancing, Papa Thor. Good to see you. Welcome in. Hey, remember those 2 gens I did? They're still the only gens that we did.
Attention alien army, we do have a raid
Oh my god,
incoming.
Laura!
I repeat, a raid incoming.
Well, thank you for the raid, Laura. How are your games? Welcome in.
Laura _ Schmaura rated your channel with
Ahoy,
18
it's a
viewers.
smart raid. You just missed Swish, Laura. We were gaming together, but he had tech issues for stream. He had to end. I'm so sad. This was his first game on that we're solo.
First
You gotta
shoot
dance to
_
Karma.
followed
That
your
is
channel.
true, Papa Thor. That's true. Welcome in. Games were a little sweaty today, but it was fun. I saw a Clown Mori, I think, Laura. But my, did I see that correctly? Well, oh my god, sorry. Oh my god, he swung. Gamers, welcome in. If you, holy Wesker. If you came in with the raid with Laura and you don't know who I am, my name is MVP. I'm an official Dead by Daylight content creator. I'm from the Netherlands. I love playing Dead by Daylight. I'm a survivor main. I have 17 P100s. I'm a Gen princess. I love Wesker, just not this Wesker. When I'm not playing DVD, you can find me cat sitting, dog sitting. I work at a horse's stables. Welcome in, everyone. It's good to see you. Oh my god, so much dances. So many dances. I love it. That's some good dancing, you guys. Oh my god. Yeah, that bot's not taking hits. Is a Wesker there? I don't know. Oh my god, what a mess. Laura, I understand if you need to raid and run, please look after yourself. Do your after stream care? Oh shit. He got robbed! He got robbed! We run. No. No. Oh, this has also been dropped. It's not good. It's not what I had in mind when I was entering this chase. We'll be lurking. Oh my god. You cut me off. Well, do some things for sure. Thank you again for taking the community here. Have a good rest of your day, Lara. You've done your spam, so I'm gonna go back to work. Alright. Thank you for the dance and for the spam dancing. Yeah, we're doing Open Lobby Survivor 2v8 if anybody wants to join. We have, we're 4 stack with Sketch hopping in as well. But if anyone wants to join for games, thank you for the hydrate. Let me take a sip of my tea. This is finished. Gamers, look after yourself, stay hydrated, take a sip of your drink. If your glass is empty, go get some water. Wesker! Gorgeous. Man. Yes, tea is hydration. I won't hop in next game yet, so you got some food. Alright, okay. See you after. Just let me know when you're ready. We can go for another hour when you join. I may not have forgotten how overstimulated I am. It's not a good time to game. Take a break or just like... Everything is fine. Bro, I am infected and... Oh! Keep ready, your leader have water. That's good, Taste. That's good. That's excellent. I'm gonna make some more tea. Was that from therapy, Dahlia? I think I saw you mention somewhere that you were You had your therapy today? Let's see who's here. Oh, oh my! That's Dahlia. Dead as well. Rough game. All right, we go again. Go take tea and lunch break before open back in. All right. Good idea. Look after yourself as well. I think we're going till 1. But it depends on a few things. At least another hour. Hour and 15 minutes. First shoot, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I appreciate your support for the channel. Thank you so much. Is Mina ready? Yes. You were. Gamers, if you don't follow Laura, please go drop a follow. We met this week during the 2v8 streamer extravaganza 7-way stream in a Survivor lobby. Please be sure to check her out. Drop a follow. Back on Ormond. Deathslinger. And Blight. How did he get all the way over there? You never really know where they're gonna go. First save of the game. Let's go. I can barely believe that was an angle. Deathslinger making his way over here? Kinda think I'm gonna go back to this gen, I don't know. Yeah, I'm finishing this gen first, gamer. Come here. Oh. I don't know why someone dropped the pallet over there when the killer was not even there. I thought when the pallet was dropped that they were chasing there, but they were just dropping pallets for the sake of... I don't know. I don't think this is the way to go, girly. Mina! Come! Mina's staring at a tonic. It's a blue tonic. She's gonna get a heal. Good, good, good. Is he still here? Because these gens were almost done. He's gonna turn around and go just check this gen. He did. Gorgeous. That poor Ada ran straight into that Deathslinger. She had no idea. Man, she's downed again. Unlucky. I'm just never going to be able to do that gen. This gen was 97, by the way. No, yeah, go heal with them! Stop it! You're booted? Cool. Brute? No! They don't understand! I'm doing this gen. That's final. There was literally 2 people unhooked over there by main, right next to us. I'm not saving Leon this time. He's gonna cry for a heal again. I'm finishing the gen first this time. Yeah, there's a Deathslinger here. He's gonna kick the gen. Okay, we can heal. Where's Leon? Okay. I mean, he's death hook. I get it. Is she healed? No. Leon's off the scene. Okay, who am I saving? Mina's in danger. Where is this chase happening? Damn. Oh, Leon. Thank you. It's Rebecca's juicer. Awesome. Careful, Mina, the Deathslinger there. Fuck. I'm Michonne again. Yeah, Nightbot's busy. I'm gonna change to mix it up if I can find the time to do it, and then hopefully it'll be easier to manage. And no more spam stuff like that. There's just camping gens on this side. Well, it's gonna take a long time. Mina's dead as hell. Dead as hell. Ada's also dead over there. One person is on a gen. It's the fun where they double up when you're dead again. Yeah, there was no stopping that. Blast mine. Ada got saved over there. Shit. Shit. That hits. Bye. Alright, where are we genning? That was a second late, y'all. A second. Leon's in his own little world, isn't he? Doing his own thing. You restarting the game? Alright. Leon is just like happy to be here. Yeah, the problem is if we get chased off of here, there's nothing to loop. And we can't loop in that direction because all the gens are here. So if anyone else is on a gen... Leon's just doing chests. He's got his priorities straight. This Leon, he knows. He's onto something that we don't know. 1 gen to go, 4 survivors. The gamer is doing chest after chest after chest after chest. He is definitely cooking. I'm gonna pre-run this. Because this is really bad. Yeah. Shit. Beautiful. I need to not get hit. Delay this first hit as long as possible. So I can, oh my god, get to some place where I can loop something. Which is apparently not here. I'm across the map, y'all. And we're dead too! I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, I'm dying on first hook. Unlucky. Ah, fuck. We go again. I got 3 saves that game. Like, holy hell. That's insane. You've defaulted to Beamer again, Mina. Beamer again. Hi, Cake Jensen! Thank you for the 3 stream streak and thank you for coming in with the raid with Laura. You're late? That's fine. We found each other well in time. Happy Friday. Welcome in. I'm never gonna get enough of saves. Fellow torchbearer, indeed. I got 3 save left in. Very proud of myself. I think this is the last of 2v8 we'll be playing. Maybe Monday. Next week is charity week, guys. We're working together with Games Aid. And we're gonna try out some new games. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday we're playing Peak, but we're still promoting the charity. And they are working together with Steam on a Steam sale. So for it's the theme is cozy, wholesome games. And when you purchase any of the selected games, there's about 140 games. A portion of it goes to charity. So we're going to be trying out 4 games next week with y'all. I thought that was so late. She's upset. Nah, she's upset. She's upset about the whole situation. Good effort. Good effort. Oh, the traps on this map are gonna go crazy. Mina! Mina! Oh shit. Oh my god, what is this? Lag! I think I can go past it. I don't think it's placed in the right place, but we'll never find out. We will never know. Everyone's on hook, guys. Half the team is in a fucking cage. Stables and Chase Death Hook. Nah, these guys. They are, I have a problem. Am my internet dying? Is her internet dying? What's going on? Her internet died. Fuck. His fat ass. I could not pass. My god. It's a massacre. She chucked a pellet in his face as well. I tried to beam save Mina, you got killed. I mean, it's not an easy job, Sketch. You just need to get good. You thought you had your bang ready? I know that feeling. It happened to me the other day. Oh my god. Dead as hell. You wouldn't have gotten it? It takes time and planning. You can't just go in and expect to save people, Sketch. It's hard work. Hi, Dawn. Good morning. Welcome in. How are you? I'm going deaf over here. I put my volume up yesterday for scrims. And I never turned it back down. What is this? You're fine? Wonderful, good to hear. How's your day going so far? It's nice. I already got some work done this morning. I knew there was a trap there, by the way. We were collabing today with Switch, but they had to drop stream after about 2 hours because of tech issues, which was really unfortunate. So we're doing some open lobbies now until we end. But it's been good games, lots of saves. I'm quite pleased. I'm getting beam saves, flashbang saves. It's good. I'm happy. She takes the BT hit, right? I think it's over. 5 gens. These guys absolutely slayed. Absolutely slayed. I need to think about what we're having for lunch and dinner today. Let's see, what's my schedule? What is my schedule for the rest of the day? Oh yeah, I have to remember. I have a lot of things going on today. So, you gonna make me dinner? Yeah, Taze, come. Come eat dinner with us. I think I had a lasagna, but I don't think I got meat from the freezer. Might be too late. I should have done it yesterday. I didn't do it. So we might just throw something together. I have a really nice buffalo mozzarella. Maybe I'm just gonna suggest that we get some grilled cheese, like a pesto, mozzarella, tomato, grilled sandwich situation tonight. Or maybe I'll make that for lunch. I don't know. Lots of options. Okay, so we're streaming. This is a Legacy Nia, by the way. Then I have an appointment with Sketch. I have to do a work call at 3. And then tonight, I have tourney practice for the World Cup, the Women's World Cup. I'm representing Team Netherlands. And then after that... Yeah, it is a Legacy Nia. Grim with my team Die for Cheese. Who's that? Blight. And Emmy. Okay. Can I pick up Timo? Yeah, you can come over. We have some dinner together. Where's he going? That didn't show our aura? Sketch is already in trouble over here. So is Mina. Mina got clocked by a zombie, or is Nemi there? Oh, maybe she did. Zombie over here! Oh, Nemi over here. I can only save one, I think. Nah, Mina's juicing. Wrong side! Wrong side! Wrong side! I'm sick! This is why I don't trust you anymore. Gamer, you didn't die on the pallet for me. You died because you were dying. Those are two different things. Oh my god! Stupid zombie distraction! Fucking zombie, I know, Mina. The two zombies. Hold on. My beam is dead, by the way. And all I've done so far is... Did I bugged? Is kill 3 S kill. Blind 3 zombies. I mean, I did a gen at least. Stop clicking at me. Yeah, now it's dead. Okay, I get a new beam. Mina, found a tonic! Is this you? Toolbox? No, this is not you. Sad times. Okay, gens are popping left and right. Thank you for the hydrates. I have rooibos tea today, guys. It's nice. Sketch is marinating on a hook over here. I'm getting a gen first. Double teamed. Now they know you're too strong, gamer, that they need this. They need two to take you down. They just know. Okay. Do you want a tonic as well? Because I found one. This way. If it's still here. Yes! Sketch! Get it! Get it! I don't need it. I've not been hooked yet. You know? Is he coming back? No. Fuck. No, there's another one right here. You too, with honey, sore throat. Shit, won't leave. It's that sore throat is lingering. I was speaking to someone at work. She was sick last week and she said I'm feeling a lot better, except the sore throat is still bothering her. That's so frustrating. I need to go. Okay, that's good, but I can't do this gen now. You have the exact same thing? Yeah. Blight sees me here. Beautiful. I don't know if he was still looking for me or if he was chasing someone else, but I'm doing this chest. Blight loves you. Are you juicing? Bean! Okay, we're on one gen. That's good. Oh. Honestly. Jill, good morning, happy Friday. Welcome in. How are you today? I think so, officially it's not morning anymore here. Oh, main gen? Okay. I see you, main gen. Sleepy, but alright. Yeah, that was me 4 hours ago. I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm still sleepy. It's Friday and I'm sleepy. I'm good, thanks. We were gaming with Swish today. That is so unlucky. Oh my god, they're all here. Shit! Okay, Fung takes chase. I don't know why, but it works for me, and I'm doing this gate. You had trouble falling asleep? Ah, no idea why. Because you were tired? Sometimes. You know, the mind just races. Well, I hope you got a little bit of rest after that. They're gonna go for the Mori on the Fung. Lady, we're going back. We have to save our friends. Oh my god, they're all the way over there. Okay, let's go. We're gonna be brave. Fung's up. That's good. She goes down. Shit, I can't save that. Okay, she's at check. That's good. Nia is still playing with the Blight somewhere. Shit. I'm gonna make my way over to this gate. Oh my god, somebody better save that Fung. Yes, they did. Camping over Nia's body? Yeah, if you distract long enough, right? Add guys. Sorry, we'll be right back. We'll do it now before we go into the next game. If you do it long enough, they'll be able to pick themselves up at the end, right? Is everybody... Nah, she was juicing. Yes. Everybody gets out. Come on. Come on! Pick yourself up! Now! No. Unlucky. Unlucky. He was juicing on a Z-wall. Let's go. Thank you for the 35 stream streak, Jill. That's great. Thank you for the support. You lost it before? Yeah, these things happen. I'm trying to maintain a schedule, guys, but there's so much stuff with work. Monday is going to be an afternoon because we have a funeral, sadly, to attend to. So Monday will be an evening stream, maybe like 4:30 if we're home by then. Wednesday will be normal. Then Thursday evening, late 9 p.m. we're doing an extra stream Cozy Games though will be Peak. It's a collab for Women's History Month. And then Sunday late again because I have hockey already. Or no, early. 8? Yeah, it will be early. Wraith? Okay, Wraith. Who's over there? Wraith. Ghostface, Ghostface, Ghostface. Don't chase me. I will be posting it in the schedule channel. He's coming back here, isn't he? Yes. Is he? I need filters, man. I can't see this ghost face. Is he over there? Yes. Alright. I see you, Sketch. He's gonna go back to kick the gym. Where did she go? You're fine. Where are you going, girl? You're all the way over here. Lurk for the best MVP. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you for stopping by and for the lurk. I appreciate you. Enjoy your daily doggo treat. Thank you for the redeem. 6 doggo treats. Let's go. There's a wraith here. He is also stopping to kick the gen. He's not chasing the injured Rebecca. Why? Just making sure there's no ghost face behind me while I try to do this gen and watch this chase at the same time. This ace is a juicer. They don't want to chase him. That's the second time I've seen him in chase. Or was it the was there a Felix? No, it's definitely an ace. Oh man, I was kinda hoping he would pick and that the speed boost from the raid would send me in for the save on Mina. That gen was almost done. Hello, Jake. There's no one here, gamer. We're gonna have to unhook here as well. I don't think that gen got done. I'm sick. Wraith is camping this gen. Look how far it regressed. He's kicking it again. It can't have a whole lot of kicks left. I don't... Why am I... Fine. What?! Okay, I'm just trash. It's fine. This is why I don't go for blinds at pellets. I just fuck it up. It's too hard. Yeah. Thank you, gamer. Thank you. Nah, he's going back to kick his gen, him. Crazy man. That's what she said? Nah, you're too sharp. I'm not awake enough to pick up on that. Oh, save? I got a few videos that I need to edit together with only old Dead Hard. Yes, people love to see old Dead Hard. You checked it out on your PS4? I might have clips. I mean, I will have clips on my... I mean, I've sold my PS4 to my friend's kid. So I just cleared it in one go because I had to be done. But I have clips on my PS5. But I don't know if it's old enough to be old Dead Hard. Jill, I was thinking about you, like you were saying about editing the other day. Hold on. Okay, fine. I mean, he wasn't gonna actually save, and he got in my way. I'm annoyed. Don't get grabbed off that gen, gamer. Ace will be fine. I'm gonna go heal Mina. Bug. I was gonna ask you about editing, like... Are we running? We're just running into the killer now? Okay, they're fine, they're fine, they're fine. I'll do the last gen. What do you need? Like, what do you want from editing, Jill? YouTube Shorts. When I try posting your screen, it's in the middle. Yes! But wait. When I try posting my screen, it's in the middle and you can barely see the action like with your bots. Bits. So how do you do it for TikTok then? Because don't you... Okay. I got you, gamer. I got you. I'm in trouble. Is he chasing me or no? No, he's not. Okay. Sorry, Jake. Oh, we have a chance now. Hold on. That's not angled. Where are people gating? What's this? A TikTok it stays normal, but in YouTube it zooms in and you only see the bit. Yeah, I hate that. Are you on CapCut, Jill, or something? Mina's never getting out of this game. Hold on. Rebecca, you need to go save. You need to go unhook, gamer. What? Fuck! Nope, no flashbang. Not enough space to wiggle through. Downloaded. I thought CapCut was browser based. Anyway, I was gonna offer you to look at it together, Jill, because I don't think it's gonna be complicated at all to get that done for you. Please get teleported here. I don't have time. Fuck. Yeah, 100%. I have time this evening, like between 4 and 7 to be exact. Heals, you think? Okay, okay, he's confident. I like it. There's a long way to go between the two gates. I think maybe the gate that way is closer. It's confusing to me. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a few tricks. Let's look at it if you have time tonight and see what we can cook. Cool. I don't know if they're still playing for Hatch or if they're at a gate, but I'm like... Mina's never getting out of here. I was trying to save you, but then everybody was dying around me and I had to go and save them. And then I was gonna heal you, and then you ran into the ghost face, and I was like, no, Mina! We try again. Poor torchbearers. I'm gonna expect to see a lot of saves this game. Let's see. Mine is an accessory? Okay, gamer. I've saved Mina. Yeah. Get you out. I've been known to make a lot of saves today, Sketch. Nurse. Hello, the whole team's here. Oni. What do you need saving from? Please distract long enough for us to do this gen. Please, for the love of God. Swing and a miss for the Oni. That's great. That's huge. Fabio, are you gonna stream any other days and any other games with the Games Aid thing? You're streaming every day? Awesome. Do you have games lined up? What do you, which ones? Why is she still chasing me? Oh. Yeah, send me the plan. Nice! Nice! Literally, if that Oni would have stood there and waited for the flashlight save to be had. I don't make that. He could have downed me again. One of them is Shadow. There's like no terror radius. You got what I deserved. You got what you got what you got what you deserve. Okay. Words are hard. Oh, this gen is dead. I'm sick. It was so close. Thanks, Fabio. Is he coming here? Oh, he is coming here. Fuck. Nice, GG. Oh, nice. Oh my god, you're doing 2 streams on Friday? Let's go. Mina's in a cage somewhere. All the way over there. Holy hell. Oh, she's out. Good. She's coming this way. Okay, we're genning though. Ah, nice. Ah, nice. She didn't come this way. Okay, maybe I finish this gen. Okay, Mina has a chance now. Oh, I die though. Beautiful. Did he call your friends? Did you call her? Yes, they did. Fuck my life. Mina, get out! She's on the gate, guys. She's almost out. It's happening. Ugh. Okay, these gamers are healed. The new Resident Evil spent 15 minutes waiting for the shaders to compile. Oh no, that's frustrating. Hello? New game, you wanna get in? Yay, Mina got out, guys. Let's go. GG's. GG's. Alright, LG. One more. You're very happy you did so well, Mina. You stayed out of trouble all this time? I mean, it was an Oni. Did you loop? Did you loop the Oni, Mina? Not really, but it was an Oni. That's your gamer. You're so good at looping Oni. Oh my god, you know where Rashka got his egg? Yeah, 15 minutes is like Marvel Rivals. I haven't played that game in a month. Oh, a golden egg? You played 5 minutes yesterday and you quit? Shit, Jill. Yeah, same old, yeah. Yeah, that's annoying. I've not been interested to play, but I'm in my Palia era. And I'm still playing that horse game that we played on Sunday, guys. The demo. I'm trying to find a way to make more money by buying a cheap horse, then training it and selling it for more money so I can buy a more expensive horse. But I'm not gonna need the full game to come out, but that's gonna be months, they said, so yeah. Yeah, the 25 days. The 25-day demo. Horse girl math, yes. Blight and Huntress. Excellent. Sheva! Take a hit! Today's just not your day. Diabolical. Oh, you got one as well? Nice. What do you play for after stream? I have a lot of practice, Dahlia. So I'm practicing for my tourney on Saturday. I have a work meeting at 3. Then I'm gonna help Jill. We're gonna look at some editing stuff. Oh. Then tonight I have practice for my other World Cup team. The champion of the fog one. And I have scrims with my comp team, Die for Cheese. What was that, Blight? He did a jiggy. You're nodding a lot. You're like, okay, okay. Lots of things. Yeah, tomorrow tourney. Beautiful. Good looping. Yeah, the tourney starts at 3 p.m. I think our game will be, I want to say maybe 4:30. We'll see how it goes. We're the 3rd team on. We're playing a lake set, so old Vecna on Ormond Lake Mine. And depending on the results, we'll either go through or we are out. Sunday morning, cozy stream. And I don't know who was here on okay, on Monday, but I showed you a clip. Skirms and Tony played this gnome game with Spooky Loops, and me and Loftus are gonna try that on Sunday. So that's Sunday cozy stream. So a lot of DBDing. He's bugged, sliding on ice. That's what it looked like. Fancy schmancy. Yeah, you guys, if you want to watch the tourney, you can. At Jordan. At Jordan's. Oh no. Oh. Oh. Medium! Bro. Sick. Leon's gonna complain about me. If only you had less stand. If only you had less stand. Okay. Who's on the doggo treats? Who's claiming them? Oh, I'm sick! Who's claiming them doggo treats, guys? It's LG. Be sure to get them, guys, before we raid out. Sketch and Lucky! Enjoy your daily doggo treats. Thank you for the redeem. Shit. GG's. I didn't know the delay would be so long. It is. I've stopped trying. I've stopped trying Sketch because the delay on the stun when you jump from great height is massive. She pulls up every time. She didn't for me. And the first hit was an M1, which was laggy as fuck. TTV let somebody go second stage because of a gen. TTV loser. Was that you? Calm down. There's 7 people in this game. Told you they'd complain. Daryl Leon, of course they're gonna complain. What's Mina up to? Is she out? Oh, not yet. Stealth? There's Hatch, there's Gates. Let's see if Mina gets out. Yes, Hatch, Hatch, Hatch. Let's go, Mina. Beautiful. GG's gamers. Well done. I wouldn't have made it before they went second anyway. Listen, there's 7 people. If there's 1 person in Hawk and 2 in Chase, there's a lot of other people that can go for a save. So, there you go. That last hit also looked like a laggy as heck. I think so. I see it happen way too much in 2v8. It does! I went second in a game with Swish as well. You have a whole ass MTF and New Paris are gone for the weekend. Carl's in Berlin. Most of my other friends are busy. Well, if I do end up hopping on Dahlia, I'll be in the VC, and you can of course join. All right, thanks everyone for hanging out today. We're gonna go raid the wonderful Slay, my teammate for tomorrow. If you wanna get updates about my stream and hang out with us, this is the Discord. I frequently post to social media, new TikTok clip and new YouTube clip, 2 p.m. today, guys. If you wanna go check that out, drop a follow, hit that like button on the social channels. We're gonna go say hi to my Slay Queen. Please copy the raid message, and we're gonna send her so much love. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Swish, thank you so much for the duo stream. I'm sorry you had to end early because tech issues, but I really had a great time. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks for chatting, chilling, lurking game. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks everyone for the follows. Thanks for the stream streaks. Lara, thank you for the raid. Swiss, thank you for the raid. Timebone, thank you for the resub. Kimsey, thank you for the raid. It was an absolute pleasure. Yeah, no stream tomorrow, but you can see the tourney. I don't know if any of my teammates is streaming, but Jordan Sentinel is streaming the whole thing. I'll put it in the Discord so you guys know when we where we play the tournament. And then Sunday, cozy morning stream, gaming with Loftus. Justify, thank you so much for hanging out. Have a good one. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care, and I hope to see you all on the tourney tomorrow or on Sunday cozy stream. Bye.